Hi and welcome to this week's Field Notes in Motion. I have been hearing the word communication all my life in relation to our horses. It is everywhere and always has been. How do we communicate better with our horses? How do we become clearer? How do we help our horses understand us and the environment that we inhabit? They're good questions, and I've asked them myself over and over throughout the years. But I found myself thinking about something else the other day, standing with the horses, particularly this young guy here. I was just watching them, and another thought came into my head. I'm not sure communication is what we are watching all the time. I think I'm watching interruption. Now, that might sound like I'm splitting hairs, but stay with me. Imagine you ask your horse to step forward. Nothing obvious happens. How long do you wait before something else occurs? Not from the horse, from you. It's an uncomfortable question because it is one that I've asked myself over the years also. I realised that before I'd even given the horse time to think, sometimes I'd already begin another conversation, whether that be lifting my energy a little more. Maybe I would repeat the cue. Maybe I'd shift my position without even noticing. None of it was deliberate, and I wasn't being impatient, or that's what I thought at least. It was just familiar. And once I'd seen it, I couldn't stop seeing it. Once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. And I began noticing it everywhere, not just with me and not just with my clients. Almost everywhere horses and humans were together. We ask, the horse pauses, we fill the pause. It happens so subtly, so quickly, that it almost looks like one continuous action. The strange thing is, we often interpret that pause as the horse doing nothing. But is the horse doing nothing? Are we only looking for movement? That's made me wonder how many times, how many conversations that we miss completely because we were waiting for feet to move. Horses don't think with their feet. None of us do. The legs tell us what decision has already been made. The thinking started long before that. Sometimes it is so quiet you could just walk straight past it. A softening around the eye. The attention changing. The horse becoming interested in something, anything. There are tiny moments that tell you something is happening. But if all you're waiting for is a step forward, you'll miss the whole process. There's a little cat. I think that's why I spend so much time simply observing horses when they're together. Not because I'm looking for techniques. I'm looking for conversations. And they have conversations very differently to the ones that we have. They're not in a rush. One horse notices something and another may pause. They don't immediately react. They notice, they check. Sometimes they wait. Sometimes nothing follows because there was nothing else to do. That interests me because I don't think we're very good at waiting. We've become increasingly good at making something happen. There's almost a pressure to keep the conversation moving. If nothing changes, we feel we should do something, anything. Another cue, a bit more energy, a little more encouragement, something. But I sometimes wonder who that helps. Is it helping the horse? Or is it helping us feel less uncomfortable? Because uncertainty is uncomfortable. Waiting is uncomfortable. Not knowing whether the horse has understood can feel uncomfortable. So we step back into the conversation. The trouble is, the horse may still be in the middle of the first one. We've watched horses stand for what seems like quite a long time before making a decision. If you didn't know what you were looking at, you'd probably think nothing was happening. Then, when the movement comes, it looks effortless, almost obvious. But the movement wasn't the beginning. It was the end of the thinking. And I think we sometimes forget that. We become so interested in the answer that we stop paying attention to the thinking that produced it. And I can't help wondering what happens when a horse never gets to finish that thinking. When every pause is interrupted. When every hesitation is met with another cue. When every quiet moment is filled by us. I don't know that we can always answer that question. But I do think it's worth asking. Because if we genuinely want to understand our horses, surely we have to become interested in how they arrive at an answer, not just whether they gave us the one we wanted. So this week, I'd love you to try something. Not a technique, just an observation. The next time that you ask your horse something, become curious about the space. That space that follows. Notice what your horse does. Notice what you do. You might discover that the conversation didn't need improving. It simply needed the chance to finish. So thank you for watching. And if you're enjoying these field notes in motion, please subscribe and then you'll be notified when the next one comes up. Take care. Bye for now.